Okay. So we are using functions in so many places, right? While in the DOM or in the React, everywhere we are using, right? Like what kind of functions are we using to generate the UI, isn't it? Either we are using for each or map or something to generate the UI, right? But we should know some more things like when we are using these loops, are we applying the loop on some array? Is it when we are generating the UI, whether it is for each or map, are we applying this for each or map on some array or just some array? Hmm? And that array, is that fixed? Till now, whatever you have done, is the array fixed? Yes or no? Why? When you are applying the for each or map to generate the UI, that array, is it fixed or not? If it is yes, then what are the scenarios where you have faced that, okay, this array is fixed? And if it is no, then tell me where are the scenarios you have seen that array is changed? Okay. So new things are added to the array. Okay, okay. That is one thing. Sorry, deleting is also happening. So, okay. Now, but the reference of the array is same, right? The array name is same. Always I am applying the loop on the same students array. Have you come across? So that means the array is same. Okay. Now my question is, have you seen anywhere where the array reference is changing? You have not faced. Anyone has faced? Where we need to take another reference and we have to apply the looping on it. Is it happening till now or not? In which case? Hmm. Okay. Any more cases? After filtering? After filtering, what is happening? Is it creating a new array? Then if I apply the loop on the old array, will it work? After filtering the data, I'm creating a new array. Now I have to, if I want to create the table from that new array, I have to apply the loop on that array, right? Not the previous array. So in reality, the arrays will not be the same. Okay, we'll be having so many different kind of things. Okay, but the function which is generating the UI, is that function changing? The function is fixed, like create tr, create td, that part is same. That part we are not changing, isn't it? Then how do you tell that function that array first initially you take this array, when I am filtering or sorting, take this new array? How do I tell the function? Because the function is same inside the function, whatever create tr, create td is same. But how do I tell the function that I need to take a separate array? This time I want to take separate array. Okay, after 2-3 days I'll say no, 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 don't use that array, please take this new array. How do I tell a function? How are we telling? Sorry, we have to pass a new argument. We have to pass a new array as the argument, isn't it? So why these things are confusing? Because functions are not clear. Okay, so today we'll see why do we need that kind of things. We have seen already we have seen arguments, like we have done function sum of a comma b, right? We have seen function sum of a comma b, and we are passing, when we are calling it, we are writing sum of 2 comma 3. But why? What is the need of that? I can direct, we have also seen that we can write function of sum, function sum, and then inside it I will do return a plus b or return 2 plus 3, right? So these are the situations where we will face this, like in DOM, in React, or anywhere. After filter, sorting is not a problem. Sorting will change the original array. So even if you are sorting, you don't need to worry about that. Okay, but when you are filtering, when you are taking another array, let's say you have a function which creates a table. It creates a table, but I'm not saying it will take a fixed array. Okay, it creates a table, but once I want to create a table from students array, once I want to create table from employees array, then we have to go with those kind of arguments, right? Okay, so let us see here. Very fast I will go. Okay, most of the things you already know. So so let's say I have a basic function, function ABC, and here what we have is console.log of a plus b. Okay, oh sorry, I don't have a and b, right? What will happen if I directly write a plus b like that? I'll get undefined, right? A is not defined, b is not defined, something like that. Okay, I'll get one error actually. Okay, now I just write hi, and I call this ABC. So this syntax you already know. This is very basic. If I call this ABC, what do I get? I get hi in the console, nothing else. Okay, now when I go for this kind of things, where t equal to a b c, and I try to console dot log of, I'll write here t comma t. What is the meaning of this line when I write like this? What is the meaning? How it will print the output? Sorry, t comma that value. So I am telling JavaScript to print a string like this first, then you print the value of t. Okay, right? Okay, you know that this console.log is also a function. It is a method. It is a log is a method of the console object, right? Okay, now what do I get here? If I want to print this t, what is the meaning of this line? What am I trying to print actually? Sorry, what is the meaning of this? What am I trying to print? So what is it known as? Don't say assigning a function to a variable, assigning a function to a variable. What is it known as? It is the return value of the function. Does it have any return value? No, it doesn't have any return value. So what do I get? When there is no return statement, what do I get? Undefined. Okay, console log of t will give us undefined, right? So this way, even I can write like this, where t is equal to this function definition. Then what do I do? I want to print the high. Then what do I do? Can I write like this? I cannot write like this. ABC is not defined. Is there a variable named ABC here? No. So what do I write here? Sorry? How do I call this? T of. That's it. Because T is containing the function definition. Right? So I can print it like that. Now here this ABC doesn't have any value now. Okay. This ABC I can remove it. The moment I remove it, what kind of function it has become? Anonymous function. Okay, fine. Okay. Now I will come to the return statements. Okay. So we have seen return statements like return high, right? Now if I call this function, what will happen? What will happen? In the console, can I see anything? No. I'm not writing, I'm not having any console.log statement. So there will be no console output. Then returns value. But if I do something like this, console.log of, and console will see high, because the meaning of this is I am trying to get the return value of this. When I write like this, where t equal to abc, what am I storing in t? I am storing the return value of abc, isn't it? Storing it and printing it directly is same, right? Instead of writing where y equal to 10 and writing console.log of 10, that means console.log of y and console.log of 10. Is it same? Console.log of y will also give us 10. Console.log of 10 will also give us 10. In the same way, console.log of t will also give us the return value of abc. Console.log of abc directly will also give us return value of abc. Okay. Then what we have is, then we have the arguments. There are arguments. Okay. Now we have seen something like this function abc of x comma y, and we write something like console dot log of x plus y. Okay. Why are we doing this? Why are we creating a function like this? First thing, why are we creating a function like this? So that if you want to, okay, if I want to print the sum of two numbers, I can do something like, let's say I have two variables where q is equal to 10 and where v is equal to 20. If I want to print the sum of these two numbers, I'll create a function like this, function p console dot log of q plus v. Then why am I creating it like this? What is the difference between this function and this function? How can they be useful? Which one will be more useful? What is the advantage? What is the disadvantage of these two functions? The first function, we can pass different values to the first function. Can we pass different values to the second function while calling? No. That is the problem with functions with no arguments. Whatever functions you are creating, if it is possible or if it is needed to pass arguments, please pass arguments. Please declare the parameters in the function definition. Otherwise, it will be very difficult at some point, because this function is totally useless if I want to add some new numbers. That is what I was trying to say. When our array is same, till now the array was same, so I was going with this kind of gen UI or gen table or create table functions. But in real time, what will happen? Your array will keep on changing. You may today create table from the students array, tomorrow you may create table from employees array. Then this function is useless, because inside the function you will have the for each on same array. same qv which is declared at the top. But this function can take qv, can take some other abc, can take directly array also, right? So this kind of things you need to keep in mind. Now what will happen here? This function, now I have, let's say, 10 variables, some more variable where y equal to 2, where e equal to 34. Now can this function add any two numbers from the above list, right? We can pass any values like q comma y, sorry, yes, while calling the function I can pass q comma y, v comma e, q comma v, y comma e comma y, e comma y, e comma q, anything, right? But this function cannot do all those things. You can only add q and v, right? So that was happening in our yesterday's scenario. So this, you are using this GUI of people, but why are we using this? At this point there is no use. If I, even if I remove these people and I remove this arr and I directly write people here, it is totally fine, because in our case we have only one array, only one people array. There is no problem in that. But when our arrays will be changing, people, I may not want to do from the people array, I want to filter out the people who are having age less than 20. If I do that, it will create a new array. Some other variable will be there. Then how do I do that? If I use this, because this function is applying the for each on only the people array, which is not doing it on the new array. So if I change it to the new array, let's say m is the new array, then it cannot create table from the main people array again, right? So that's why we need these kind of things. That's why we are passing this, we are creating this parameter in the definition, and we are passing another array while calling it. Okay, so very careful with these things. So now in this situation there is no problem. What are the situations where we will have? We have seen filtering. In sorting, actually there is no problem, but in real time you may not sort the original array. Okay, what am I saying? You may not sort the original array. You have to create a copy of the array, you will sort it and store it somewhere. Okay, then you will apply the, because when we Flipkart, when you go to Flipkart, when I sort it low to high, after reloading, is the array changed? If I remove the low to high, is it again staying in the low to high? No, it is coming back to the original order. Original order is something else, isn't it? That is according to their convenience. They have created some list, isn't it? That list will never change. That list will change when they add new products in between. Let's say they thought that no, a new mobile has come, I'll add it in between, or add it at the end, or I'll put it in the first. That is their work. That is not our work. What is our work? We sort according to low to high, high to low, popularity, relevance, discount, and all those things, right? But that doesn't change the original array in real time. Okay, if everyone keeps on changing, then what will happen to Flipkart database? It will constantly keep on changing. So that doesn't happen. So when I do this low to high in my system, in my browser, a copy of that original array is made, it is sorted and displayed. When I remove the filter, again original array is displayed. Okay, so in real time, actually in sort also you'll be passing the array to a function. Okay, it will be totally different. Okay, so then filtering will be there. I want a male people different, female people different. Male people should be displayed in separate table, female people should be displayed in separate table. So what do I do there? I cannot apply the create table function on the main array. What I have to do? I have to filter them. How do we filter them? How do we filter? We have an array where r equal to array. Then after that, what do? We create a new variable where male is equal to r dot filter of function. Let's assume r is an array of objects, right? R dot filter of function, and then function will hold each person. Here what do I write? Return person dot gender equal to male. Now this male is a new array. Does it change the original array? No. Male is different array. Female is again different array. Where female equal to gender is female. Now we have how many arrays in the whole file? 3 arrays. Now if I want to call this gen UI, I don't call it on the R. If I call it on the R, what will happen? It will create table with the whole data, mixed, male and female mixed. If I write here gen UI of male, only male, because it will run the for loop on the male array. If I write here female, I'll get it will run the looping or the for each or map or whatever it is on the female array. That's why this kind of syntax is needed. Okay, then there will be a lot of things, lot of filters you will be applying to your data, like electronics, hard goods, software, this, that, so many things will be there. Okay, so in that situations we need this kind of argument passing. Okay, only simple functions without arguments will not work, because only this syntax, what it is doing, if I remove this thing earlier, what did I write? I directly wrote people. So it will gen UI, if I write only gen UI, it will run it on the main R array, isn't it? It is not useful for us. Okay. So whenever you are creating the function, first you think, can I pass something there if needed? If not, then okay. If I need to pass, please pass it. Otherwise, later on it will be a problem. Okay, fine. Then, so this is one of the things about functions. Okay, so let's say function is there. Outer function. I'm naming it as outer. Okay, its name is outer. Now, I have a variable where q is equal to 10. Can I access this q inside this function? Yes. If I write console.log of q, and if I call this function, will it work? Will it work or not? 100% it will work? Yes. Okay. Now, let us see some more things. Now, what this function can return? Can it do something like return q? Can it do? Can it do or not? Yes or no? Why only something from here? Why only like this? It can, if it is able to access the queue from outside, which is outside, it can return the queue also, if it can access, isn't it? But if I write a where t equal to 10 here, can I access it outside? I cannot access this t outside. What is the difference between this variable and this variable?
It's a global variable we can access anywhere in the program.
Okay,
It's a
what
local
about
variable T. Function scope variable.
variable, scope, or say some proper words. What is the difference between this one and this one?
That where T can access only within the function, sir, where we
No,
have
I
declared.
got you, Venkatesh. I got you. I'm asking them. Okay, so okay, okay. It is known as a local variable. Okay, this is a global variable. This is a local variable created inside the function scope, which is present inside the function scope. So I cannot access this outside. Okay, fine. So can I do something like return q plus t? But I can access this t variable inside the function, na? So if I write here return q plus t, will it work or not?
Yes, sir, it works.
Yes, 100% sure it will work, isn't it? Okay. So it will give us a 20. If I try to, if I call it, nothing will happen. If I console.log of outer, it will give us. Okay, fine. Now what else can this function return? It can return only these kind of things, or it can return anything. Okay, it can return string, number, anything, right? That means it can return anything. Can it return another function? So I'll remove this line. I'll remove this line, and then okay. Now what do I do? If I call the outer function, what happens? I'm asking what, sorry, if I run this function, do I get anything in the console? That's what I'm asking. Okay, now if I write console.log of outer, again I'm telling you, when I write where t equal to outer, and then I write console.log of t, this line and this line is having same meaning. Are you getting that thing? Yes. So I will not keep on writing like this just because you understand only this thing. You have seen only this thing, right? But that doesn't mean I'll always write this thing. I don't want to write two lines. I will write directly like this. So now tell me, what do I get here? If I do this, if I call this function outer and print the return value, what do I get? Say proper
Call
word.
function definition.
That is that word known as. I want the perfect word. Say loudly. We'll get the function definition, right? So let me run this. I got a function definition here. Function VVV where g equal to 0, right? Okay. Now, so what I wrote here, when I call this function, what is stored in T? What is the return value? It is apple, mango, what? Function definition will be stored in T, right? So this is something like where f equal to function zzz right? When I am doing this, where t equal to outer, what is the meaning? Outer is returning what? Function definition, and it is storing in t. The same thing I am doing here. I am storing a function definition in t. Here also a function definition is stored in t. Here also a function definition is stored in f. Same thing. So to call this function zzz, what did I do earlier?
F of.
To call this function, what did I do? We called the f directly, and we will, because f is containing a function definition. So if I call the f, it will run it, right? In the same way, this outer is also giving us a function definition and storing it in t. To call that function, what do I write? We call the t, isn't it? Okay. So here, this is stored in t, right? So to call the returned function, I wrote parenthesis in t. So here, what should I do? Let's say I don't have all these things. Then what is outer this? What is this containing? Say loudly. Function definition. If that is the function definition, what do I do to call it? If a is a function definition, then what do I add to it to call it? Parenthesis. If outer parenthesis is already a function definition, to call it, what do I do? Again parenthesis. That's it. This is a function definition. Let's say it is storing function definition, na? Outer parenthesis. When I try to print this outer parenthesis, what am I getting? I am getting a function definition. To call that, what do I need? Another function, another parenthesis here. Right? Now, will it do anything in the console? There is no console statement. I get undefined. Why? Because I am calling which function actually by writing like this? I am calling what is inner function? VVV function. Is the VVV function having any return statement? No. That's why I am getting undefined. Because this is the same like where y equal to outer. I am printing y. What is y having? The return value of so I can further break it into where x equal to outer, where y equal to x of and console.log of y. Instead of writing these 3 lines, I can write 1 line like this. Are you getting it? Outer parenthesis, calling outer function, storing the return value of the outer function in the x, and then x is now having a function definition. If I call the x again, it will again give me the return value of the inner function and give it to y, and when I call y, I will get the return value of inner function. So when I write like this, it means the same, outer and then inner, right? Okay, now this is a situation. So I hope you got this, what is happening here. Okay, now this is a nested function. Can we say that it is a nested function? Function inside function. Okay, are we having any arguments or parameters? No, I want to have some parameters like function outer will take one a function. So this one, this VVV has any meaning till now? Did we use VVV anywhere? No. To call that function, I don't need the VVV, so I can make it an anonymous function. Yes. So here a b is there, and I can do something like console dot log of a plus b. Can I do this? Right? I can do this. So what will happen if I do now outer? I want to add 5 and 6. What do I do? I want to add 5 and 6 and print the 11 in the output. Where do I pass? Do I pass it like this? 5 comma 6. Why can't I pass it like this? Outer will take only one argument. So I will pass it like this. Then where do I pass the next argument? In the other parenthesis. Okay. In the other parenthesis, we have to pass the next value. So if I do this, what will happen? Let us break it into two parts. Right? What is the meaning of this? Where x is equal to outer of 5 and then where y equal to x of 6. Am I correct? Yes. Outer of 5, what it will do? It will take the 5 here. It will take the 5 here. And now see, there's a small thing here. Okay, we'll go to that small thing later on. First, let us understand what will happen here. So, outer of 5. Now, this 5 will be taken by the outer function. And in the inner function, does that 5 has any role? In the inner function, that 5 has any work there? Does it have or not? Where? What it is, what work it is doing? It is cleaning plates? No, what it is doing? That 5, after it passes here, what is happening? Does the inner function take the 5 as argument? No. But it is being used in some other way, isn't it? Okay, fine. So that 5 will be passed to outer, but actually it is also passed to inner, not as an argument. Okay, it is known as the scope. This thing will be discussed in detail in tomorrow's class. Okay, I don't want to go too much into that. Okay, now outer of 5, when I write like that, actually what is outer of 5? Outer of 5 means return value of the outer function. Return value of the outer function is what? Inner function. Inner function. But actually it is giving, what it is giving to x? It is giving two things. Inner function also, this 5 also. 5, he said that, okay, you don't need it, but keep it for the time being. Later on you will need it. Who told this to whom? Outer told this to x. He told to x, okay, x, when x is asking for the return value of outer. So outer said that, okay, my return value is what? My return value is only one function. Okay, you take the return value, that is the inner function, anonymous function, you take it, but you keep the 5 also. You will need it later on. Okay, you may need it later on. X said, okay, I will keep the 5 also, but I am more interested in only the inner function definition. Okay, then when it did x of 6, 6 is passed here, right? 6 is passed here. And what is the meaning of this? The return value of this. So let me write here. Return value of x of 6. Now y is again asking to x that please give me your return value, right? X is saying that my return value is a plus b, where I have the, you have already given me the b as 6, but where is a? Previously outer had given to x, right? So he had kept the value. Now he is adding it and giving the return value to y. Okay, so here what is happening? So to get the output, we have to call it like this, right? This is one topic. This is known as currying. Okay, this is known as currying in JavaScript. Have we seen this in React anywhere? connect method, isn't it? In the connect, we are using this kind of currying kind of syntax. Okay. Then now here the inner function, is it remembering the value given to him by outer? As I told you, it is taking the function and also remembering the value. Okay, I may need it later on, right? If it doesn't need it later on, it will not remember. But if it needs it later on, it will definitely remember this. Okay, this remembering, just remembering the some other value is comes under, it is known as closure. Okay, that thing will be discussed in tomorrow's class. I will not take much time today. My work was to explain this. Okay, so now the thing is clear now, how the variables are moving from where to where. Okay, so here this inner function is able to remember the previous value. Again, I was actually explaining the currying concept. That's why we have a situation like this. But some other kind of situations may be there. Let's say I am not having this a here. I am having a where a equal to 10 here. And I am using it like this. So while calling the outer function, do I pass an argument? No. I pass it like this. But still the inner function will remember this value. Okay. Now whatever I am explaining, this is not currying. This is the closure scope. At this point also it will remember. When does it remember? At this point. When the outer is giving the function definition to x, at that point it is saying that you take my function definition and also remember these values. This is where the closure scope is. It is said that here the closure scope is created at this point. Not before, not after, not here. Okay. Where do you see the closure scope? If someone asks you, you cannot say, sir, this is closure. No. This is just a function definition. Closure scope is created when we do this. Okay, fine. So what will happen here? Now if I do where y equal to x of 6, what will happen? So this line is not needed, right? 100% sure we cannot pass it there. I will pass the outer to x. Is this line correct? Outer I am passing to x. So at that point, this whole function definition plus the value of 10 is passed to x. Okay, actually only the return part is passed, but because of this variable being used here, it will remember that value, right? Okay, now x is having only this function where it knows that a is 10. Now what will happen? I am passing 6 in the x. To this I am passing 6. So what will happen? A plus b. A is 10. 10 plus 6 is 16. Okay, this is how it will look. So don't worry about this topic. This will be discussed tomorrow. But this is what I wanted to explain about functions. Okay, lot of complexities will be there. How to create a function we have seen. How to create function with parameter, without parameter. When we know that there will never be any change in the array, we can, without parameters we can pass, but it is not advisable in real time. Every time the array keeps on changing. Okay, for every change the array keeps on changing, so we have to pass arguments. Okay, and this is all about the scopes. Okay, that's it for this session. Console.log of y. Fine. Okay, that's it.